Hello, it's Andrew with Missing Remote, and this is a set of Google Pixel Buds Pro wireless earbuds. Before digging into the details of all the specifics and everything, I just want to quickly walk you through what you get. Obviously, you get two earbuds. One's in my hand here, one's in my ear. You get the case. The case charges the devices. There's USB-C in the bottom and a button on the back here for pairing. It has a nice little clicky action and then a status light on the front that tells you when it's time to charge or if it's charging the earbuds. The fit in the ear is very comfortable. You get three sizes of these tips, and there's a cool noise cancellation based wizard that guides you through the selection of the right one. I've had no problems wearing these guys for extended periods of time or working out with them. I even ran with them for you to test it out. I don't run very much anymore. They're totally fine. They stay in my ears perfectly, and they just do the business. Most importantly, they don't get uncomfortable over long periods of time like some other earbuds do that have these little hooks in them. The purpose of the hook is to keep the earbud in your ear, but when you're wearing them for a long time, this thing, at least for me, starts to get fairly uncomfortable. The case is awesome. And this is something that really gets me about a lot of earbuds. They're supposed to be portable. But then the OEM makes the case so large that it's impractical to carry it in anything that doesn't have bag or sack in the name. I am not going to put this thing in my pocket. It's just not going to be comfortable. Google nailed the form factor for this case. I can slip it in a pocket and it's not going to feel like I get punched in the thigh every time I sit down. And in all fairness, so does Apple. For charging, you either get USB-C, as I mentioned, and then also it supports wireless charging. So you can, anything that does Qi, you can top this up. Sound is good. There are better options if sound quality for music is the most important thing for you in an earbud. Don't get me wrong, they are perfectly acceptable. It's really just the kind of thing that you notice when doing a targeted comparison. I am pleased with the overall sound quality, especially the bass, which surprised me in the context of noise cancellation and talk quality performance, which we'll cover a bit more in a bit. Speaking of earbuds with better sound, these Bose QC do sound better, but there are drawbacks to that. It's possible that the sound quality thing is at least partially an artifact of codec support, which frankly isn't good enough. You get AAC and SBC, that's it. No aptX, no aptX HD, no aptX Adaptive, LDHC, LHDC, Scalable Codec, LC3, or anything else. Nothing fancy, only the really basic stuff is there. Clearly it works, but it's also clearly a place where there's room for improvement. Given the $200 price point for the Pixel Buds, it should be better. Aside from the advanced codec support thing, they otherwise have a good geek features list, including Bluetooth 5.0, multipoint, and audio switching, which is actually an aspect of multipoint. Both of which, if you want to call them separate things, make it easier to use the Pixel Buds Pro with multiple devices at the same time, where it intelligently figures out which of the connected devices should have priority at a given time. The active noise cancellation is okay. It definitely works acceptably, and I appreciate that there's a transparency mode, but it's not as isolating as competing earbuds like these Bose or Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2, which I reviewed a while back. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because I think the trade-off here is that it makes them a better earbud for talking, at least if that super isolating feeling that many headphones with amazing noise cancellation have bothers you. This is probably what Google is talking about when it mentions active in-ear pressure relief, because the thing I'm talking about is caused by pressure from the earbud seal. Personally, it drives me crazy. So I can't use many premium earbuds for taking calls in any extended way, which, as an aside, even though these Apple AirPods are probably the worst sounding earbuds I own, they're also the best for taking a call, because they don't seal the ear and they're very primitive. The microphones, and there are three, are okay. In my testing, they work just fine. Inside, outside, everywhere I've tried them. But that doesn't include any windstorms or anything like that, so I haven't tested the wind blocking mesh covers claim. They just work. The Google Assistant experience is awesome, and it's one of my favorite things about the Pixel Buds Pro. It really separates them from many other headphones. It's easy to get notifications from the phone, and when you want to interact with Google Assistant, you just push and hold the bud to trigger it and then talk. There is some configurability around how that works. I have the left press and hold action set to change the noise cancellation modes, and the right one is for Google Assistant. There are transport controls on the buds as well. 1 press to stop playback, 2 to move forward a track, and 3 to go back a track. Volume is controlled using backwards and forward swipes, which is a little bit weird. Most of the other earbuds I've messed with that have swipe-based volume are up and down, but it's fine. Just something to be aware of. Call it a training issue. The buds are IPX4, so fine for rain and sweat, and I've tested that a bit. But you want to keep them out of the toilet or the washing machine. The case is only IPX2, so really only basic splash resistance. You're going to want to be careful with that. Battery life, awesome. The claim numbers are 11 without active noise cancellation, but why would you turn that off? So really 7, and they say 20 to 31 hours total if you count what's in the case. There is no EQ, at least not yet. Google is promising this and some other features in future firmware releases, but I think we've all kind of learned the hard way that Google's promises are very much a counting eggs kind of thing. I'm sure they'll get to it. I'm sure it'll be awesome. Some probably more question of when. Personally, I am not much of an EQ guy. There are definitely times where you want it, so it should be there, but obviously it didn't keep me from buying a pair. And I think that's where I am with them. There are better options in specialized areas like sound quality, noise cancellation, etc. I've tried most of the competing earbuds in the Pixel Bud Pro's $200 SRP price point, although it is worth mentioning that it's not hard to find them at $175, even though they just launched. Oh, I should also note, I have not tested the Sony WF-1000X-M4, which from what I've seen about them, make them seem like a pretty solid set of earbuds. Although they do SRP for $280, so maybe not fair to directly compare them. None of these other options that I've tried do the sum of all the things as well as the Pixel Buds Pro. So very much a jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing, at least at this point. They hit all of the key features well enough. I can talk on them, I can listen to music, I can use them to block out the world when I want to take a nap. The battery lasts long enough that they're always ready to go. And there's a decent chance I'll have them with me because the case doesn't suck. So I would recommend them to almost anyone. Serious audiophiles might want to look elsewhere. But frankly, if you're that hung up on audio quality, I'm not sure there's anything in this price range that will meet the need. There is a very good chance I will be putting these on the holiday gift list as an option for my kids, as a step-up earbud from what they're currently using. I like them that much. I hope you found that useful. If you did, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below and I will get to them as soon as I can. Thanks.